Welcome to this week's Wendy Wisdom. And today we're going to talk about looking for job love in all the right places. So let's get started. Do you hate your job? Are you crying on the way home from work or after you finish your last Zoom each day? Are you so miserable you almost started kicking your dog? Are you tired of being a unicorn in a company filled with donkeys? Don't get me started. I had one of those. Maybe you used to love your job, but your boss left or the company got acquired and you don't even recognize your job anymore. Raise your hand if this is you. You want desperately to get out of your job, but you want to find the right fit for you. You don't want to fall for the same culture story. You don't want to be sold one life only to end up with another one. You crave a job where you fit in instead of being the lonely unicorn. Say misery in the comments or in my DMs if that's you. So there is good news. Want to know what it is? There are good fitting jobs out there. You can find a culture that works for you. You can find a place where you aren't the only unicorn in a land of donkeys. How great is that? However, there's bad news. The bad news is if you don't do your research and ask the right questions, you will end up in the same bad fit situation. You'll end up surrounded by those donkeys again, and you will end up with the same bad boss. I mean, have you ever met someone who is just constantly dating the wrong person? Well, people do that with jobs too. So you end up just staying where you are, miserable, and this takes a toll on your health, your family, maybe even your pets, your happiness, and your career path. And your bank account, all because you don't have a plan to find job love in the right places. Now, what if instead of just hoping that the company culture described on the careers page is for real, don't hold your breath, you actually knew that the culture would work for you? What if you knew how to not repeat the same story and end up in the same land of donkeys? How would that feel? What would landing that great fitting job mean for you, your family, your bank account, your health? If you are ready to find job love, write love, or drop me a heart emoji. You can even put in my favorite color. I think it's kind of obvious what that is in the comments or in my DMs. Now, let's get clear on why you might want to listen to me about finding job love in all the right places. Why do you want to do that? Well, let's start with I've coached hundreds of people to find fulfilling careers and build businesses that pay for and make space for their whole lives, their marriages, their children, their parents, their friends, their music, their art, their athletic activities. I ran award-winning programs in youth and family services for the YMCA. I led the turnaround of an AIDS clinic. I've led millions of dollars in management consulting projects with dozens of Fortune 500 companies and dozens of venture-backed tech startups. I scaled a fintech startup from employee 23 to employee 500 and a $100 million exit for the founders and the investors. I've also conducted 12,000 interviews in my career. Now, slow down for you. 12,000 interviews. I've taught hundreds of hiring managers and recruiters how to conduct interviews. I've trained dozens of recruiters to find amazing talent on LinkedIn. For 10 years running, I was in the top 1% of profiles viewed among recruiters. I've designed talent strategy, interview processes, scoring rubrics at dozens of companies. I've selected and implemented an ATS or 2 or 5 as well. Those companies, by the way, have a 64% exit rate. Now that you know why you're listening, let's talk about what we're going to learn today. The steps to looking for job love in all the right places. Step 1, make sure you know what you love and what you hate when it comes to your job life. What are your bests and worsts? Because if you can't find what you want, because you can't find what you want if you don't know what it is. And you can't avoid what you don't want if you don't know what that is. You'll only end up with the same issues with your boss, the culture, the customers, if you don't figure this out. Step 2, make sure you know what makes you a unicorn if you're a unicorn, or a giraffe, or a horse, And make sure you know whether you are happiest with other unicorns or a mix of unicorns, zebras, horses, and donkeys. Knowing who you are helps you find the people who want you. If you don't know what makes you a unicorn, you'll end up with more donkeys. And you certainly won't find other unicorns like you. And trust me, that stinks. Step 3, know what size company works best for you and make sure you apply to jobs that are that size company. Companies are not one size fits all. Almost everyone has a right size for them. And you want to land at a company that fits. Bad fitting companies are like bad fitting shoes that cause blisters. So, what do we do next? Comment job love to get my job love cheat sheet. And know this, I have a couple slots opening up for one-on-one coaching, and I'm opening a new small group coaching cohort. Those spaces won't last long in this market. So let's talk. We can decide whether one-on-one group or a hybrid program is right for you. I'll put the link to my calendar in the comments. And as I always say, have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. Do something fun with the people you love.